Hey everyone, today's a bit late doing results. It's a Wednesday, but, you know, there were so many results last week, we couldn't really pass it up, right? And look, when one of my teammates win, we gotta show it off, yeah? So let's get started. Let's take a look at the current meta of Springfest. And we have the Indonesia BSF. So with standard, we have these results. We got Alpha... what? Zero? All? Something like that. With a Youthberg, Chronojet, and Ava lineup. Then the second place, we have Kebun Binatang with Chronojet, Ava, and Lutetia. Then we have Destino Victoria with Chronojet, Ava, and a Welstra. And then lastly, we've got UC Tabletop with a Ava, Overlord, and Lutetia. So the only team not running a Jet list, right? And let's take a look at the Welstra list, right? Welstra is kind of the more unique one there. Pretty cool. Instead of running, we don't have Assembler in English, so what are we replacing Assembler with? We are just running this dude instead. Is it a dude? I don't think it's a dude. I think it's a girl. So it's a cat girl. So we've got Blitz Mechanic Iskra. They're running this in place of it. I've seen people run other stuff too. There is the what was it? I don't know what the dog is called, like the weird dog. I think yeah, it just gets 10k shield. I've seen that run as well, and I like that one too. But yeah, this one is okay. We got the dog now, so it's pretty good. Then next we have the V-Prem list. We got Ogre Ascension coming in first with kind of a more unique lineup here. We got Leopold, all right, Great Nature. Then we have Ange, but we have the Spectral Duke, which is weird because you know, in English we have less Percivals than JP, but technically speaking, Spectral is not a deck that needs Percival. Then you got Binus Springfest with Royal Palace, so Jewel Knight, Luard, and Ange. Then third we got Destino Victoria again, right? This time with Luard, Aquaforce, and Jewel Knight. And then fourth we got Mantan Villain is Hard with the Fenrir Messiah and Night Rose list. So let's take a quick look at some of these lists. So first we have the Spectral list. This one is it's pretty spectral. Let's just zoom in a bit. Yeah, so Spectral list running some only two Spectral reverse, but otherwise the rest of it is just two Aglavale as well, just because the card is good. Right, and then, yeah, pretty cool. Nice. And then next we have is just a Messiah. It's a pure Messiah, not Chaos. No fancy stuff, just a straight up Messiah list. Interesting grade 1, so it's a PR. But yeah, pretty cool. And then in Premium, this is where everything is happening. We've got first place is WCC, Weirab Cooked Consulting with Galini on Highlander, Derek on Nightmare Doll, and Weirab on the Steam Maiden. And then we have to beat Ogre Inf Akus SMP with the Gridora Victor, right? Victor, an NLK lineup. Then we have another WCC, which is, I don't think it's WCC, but it's Weirab Copium Crew. So clearly fans of Weirab, running a Chaos Breaker, Spike Brothers, and that looks like a Lawkeeper lineup. And then Caesar Cards Team 2 with Narukami, Grand Blue, and then Gridora, right? So let's kind of look at the WCC team list. So first we have the Galini's deck, Highlander deck, lots of one-offs. Actually, I think it's a straight up one-off list. No two-offs except for the Reindeer, which has multiples, just so like you know you don't miss, right? So pretty much newish Highlander post-ban. And then next we have is this Nightmare Doll. Pretty much just add in like Lillian in, right? And then you're good to go. The rest of it is just pretty much like the old Nightmare Doll list, but now, is that a promo? Oh, that's very expensive. Oh. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, the rest is just kind of standard. You have like the new G-Guard. Looking at running one of the new Stride as well, but otherwise just go into your Dark Lord Princess and just win, right? And then we have Weirab with this updated Steam Maiden list now, which is actually just replaced Inglisa with just Jet, right? This is probably how the new Steam Maiden, not really a Steam, Geek Chronicle decks are running, right? Because technically you can still Stride with Jet, you just can't search it out very well, so that's the bad part of it, but you still have Enterana, so just get damage, get Enteranas, and continue to win, right? Otherwise, the rest of the deck just plays pretty much the same, yeah? And then next we have is that Victor list. So Victor a bit strange. Definitely not a deck you expect much. I think the last time we saw a Nova Grapple list, it was a Blau one. I think that one could ride down, but so just looks like he's just riding straight up to Victor, and then get some multi-attacks, and then hope for the best, right? Hope for the best. Nothing. It doesn't look like it's a gimmick list to me, right? Like the gimmick Pump Bastard, like up heaps amounts. just looks like it's a normal legit Nova grapple list, and you've got the Makani here just to kind of snipe out like Holonies if they play it down, and just multi-attack and win. Right, so pretty cool. We have some NLKs. I think we'll look at all the NLKs, though, just to see how they build it, but pretty much like DI is kind of a scary deck now, I want to think, but it's also kind of copium, you know, like, just, you don't ride NLK, I think you're just like half dead anyway. But yeah, this is pretty much the DI list, pretty straightforward, just go into NLK. This one, Chaos Freeze Ray, so this one's unique, because going for the max control for Chaos, but I think this was on stream on the day, and it matched up against Highlander, so that's kind of just like an auto lose, right? You feel bad, you lock their stuff, and then you just bounce it for free with Heltron and just bash your face like multiple times. I think it's just really sad, but able to get pretty far with Chaos, so congrats, right? And then lastly, we can look at the Lawkeeper. This Lawkeeper list is kind of interesting, you know, like what does Lawkeeper actually do? Right, I guess it can kind of control the board, just running the V Lawkeeper. And then you have this is actually Flare Trooper Dumjid, so they just don't have the card art there. But yeah, it's like an interesting list, I have to say, definitely something unexpected, and it's Kagura. Like, I think the most Kagura list we've seen so far is basically just like a rush deck. You just like go into the cross and go and just destroy them. Yeah, this one looks, maybe it's more control, just to stop some combos. Right, so, okay, four Ziegenberg. Wow. Yeah, okay. And then next one we have New York. So this one is just your standard, and you're nothing really special, right? I think this is just max meta. So we got Chaos, got Jet Ava and a PBO. They've got Jet Ava and an Overlord. They've got Jet Ava and an Overlord, and then we've got Jet Ava. Literally every team has an Overlord, right? Because PBO is an Overlord too. So everyone's just running Jet Ava Overlord. So very meta, hyper meta, alright? And then in V, we have Viva La Steam Maidens with Ange, Steam Maiden, and Luard, right? And then second place got Phantom Star, Nature's Requiem. We got Ange, Luard, Leopold. And then third we got Sleeves of Melody, Luard, and Aquaforce. And I'm being told that the V Premium deck codes are wrong. So instead of GDSP, RV5K, and M5RX, it's actually HJ91, EQGH, and LJY1. Yeah. And then in fourth place, with Under Messiah's Divine Protection, we have not PNJ. Well, it is PNJ. We have Steam Maiden, Night Rose, and Leopold. Yeah. Probably the most interesting list here is just how a Steam Maiden is built right now. They just don't run the Enterana, right? They don't run the Enterana. They run more Lost Breaks, and that's the deck. Yeah, that's the deck. And then the next Steam Maiden deck is just pretty much the same thing. What do we put in? I don't know. Just take it out, put in some Lost Breaks, and we're back to Steam Maiden time. Yeah, so pretty much you lost a lot of the consistency with Enterana, but you still have the explosive power of the deck, so just draw better 5-head, right? Just get better cards. And then in premium we got Viva La Steam Maidens again. These guys bring Ghidorah, Aquaforce, and Steam Maidens. They got Pandora with a Highlander, Neo Nectar, and Ghidorah lineup. And then last minute with Dimension Police, Highlander, and Aquaforce. And then we got Ice Spice with NLK, Ghidorah, and then the Spike Brothers. So first off, we are taking a look at the Ghidorah list. Just taking a look at, random Ghidorah list. Ghidorah is really, really popular nowadays, but there's still a lot of different decks that people can take. This one is just running a standard Ghidorah Cradle lineup. So that works out pretty well, right? Congrats. Then next we have is just the Aquaforce. So what is Aquaforce doing now? Well, I actually heard something funny, is that one of the stories from New York was that an Aquaforce, a 14-year-old Aquaforce player, a girl as well, was playing against a Nubatama player, and the guy got so mad that she wrote down that, like, you could hear his screams, something like that. I think it seems like a pretty funny post. Congrats to the kid for writing down, right? That's the premium life. And if you get mad at people writing down, we'll play a better deck. Alright, but yeah, this is just pretty much Aquaforce right now. They have a new PR. This new PR is out for Aquaforce that just makes deck insanely better, insanely more consistent. Just a really, really good deck now. Really good deck. More of these PRs are coming out. Can't wait to see the huge impact these are going to do in making decks just better, right? So Aquaforce, definitely something to look out for, right? And then next we have is just this Neonectar deck. This Neonectar deck is pretty interesting. It is running the vanilla ride line, the vanilla engine to kind of you jump up and then you go like, you smash their face when they're at like low level with a bunch of like hyperpower tokens, right? So, your tokens make, your cards make vanilla tokens, then your vanilla tokens turn into a ride skip, and then then you stride while they're on like grade like less than 3, right? And then, if they feel bad. And then you can just go into Katrina with like just a bunch of power later on, or just when they're at grade 2, and then you just win. Personally, I did find this deck pretty mid if you knew how to play against it. You see someone playing Neonectar, you play very defensively, don't give it too much damage, and then the deck kind of doesn't do anything. And sometimes even if it goes pretty well, if it's playing against one of like the best decks in the game, it still doesn't perform that great. But you have the element of surprise, right? If your opponent just doesn't know what you do, then they just randomly, willy-nilly give you damage. You just get enough damage, just kill them, right? Just kill them. So pretty cool. Always interesting to see the Neonectars, how they're performing and what kind of builds they are doing, because there's still a lot of different ways to build it. So very interested to see that. Then we have this Dimension Police. Just put it in because, hey, Dimension Police, what does it do now? It looks like it's just the old Dimension Police things. You go Die Line as your main ride. You have Reverse Gyusha now, which is pretty interesting. This one looks like it's just going to the full Gyusha Superior Ride engine as well. So pretty crazy, And then lastly, we have just another NLK list. So going into this NLK, very high rarity with a Drejeweled as well. Right, so I'm guessing you like NLK into like a Drejeweled or something if they go into OT, but if they don't, then you can just go into your other one. But yeah, otherwise, pretty cool. Actually, yeah, nice. Then lastly, we have Italy as well. Italy, we're missing the standard, but I did see Nuno's Twitter saying that he won, so congrats to him. This is for V Premium. We have Rulebook taking Raging Form, Battle Sisters, and an Orange deck. Then we've got Francis de Paris x Savage taking Luard, Vanquisher, and Messiah. Then we've got Bless Uppers with Luard, Leopold, and Night Rose, and then 8's Gaming with Orange, Luard, and Steam Maiden. Right, and then with some of the lists, we have that Raging Form list that won, so pretty standard Raging Form list, right? Just surprised to see it doing very well. And then we have that rulebooks with the Battle Sisters, sort of Battle Sister. Okay. And then in Premium, we've got the Italian Knights coming first with the Highlander, Steam Maiden, and Eradicators. Then second place was Alliance Oli de Biflo Oli. I don't know. Aquaforce, Nightmare Doll, and the Steam Maiden. Then we got Ronin Scalato with Steam Maiden, NLK, and Dimension Police. And then we got Rulebook again with actually a Battle Sister, Aquaforce, and Delete Messiah matchup deck. So here was like here we have just that premium OTT. So we're not really seeing it much anymore. But just actually as Battle Sisters, like again, the grade 1 Tsukuyomi. Also running some of this new Reverence Rush Dragon. We see this a bit. Just because it can stack the top card of your deck with like a heal trigger, something like that. I think we saw it in like another deck. I think like Glyphagira, Valkyrion. Yeah, this is just something you can stack a heal on top and be cool, right? Or you can even stack like an Amaterasu on top, right? Just to give a crit to your Vanguard. So a pretty interesting deck, right? And then lastly, we have that Deleter Messiah list. Yeah. Just delete, going into freeze ray deleter, alright? And then you just do your combo like that. So pretty cool. Anyway, those are all the lists this week. Of course, I went through it pretty quickly. There's gonna be some more content soon anyway. But just to get all that info out there. Let me know what you guys all think on the comments below. Do you like the current meta or not? And I'll see you all next time. Alright, bye.